Good morning, everyone. Today's date is May 7th, 2021, a Friday morning at 9:35 a.m. The first item on our workshop agenda is from the auditor.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I am going to have two budget amendments, and they are to recognize the revenue and expense for the juvenile probation department for the building over here for the water damage.
Okay.
And I'll have those on Monday.
All right. Anything else?
No.
All righty. Thank you.
Thank you.
The next item we have is the treasurer's report.
Okay, Judge, I have already presented the accounts payable, but I did have an item on Monday's agenda. May I address that?
Go ahead.
Okay. The committee met to hire the position for special projects, and we have a request from the court and ask the court to approve the, what we want to talk to the court is raising that amount not to exceed Mr. Hippolito's pay. We're looking at, well, let me say this, that every applicant on the document, on the application stated around the same amount of money, but we were way below the pay of that position. Back in, this study was done in 97, and like a pay group 1, 17, the pay starts at $16.73, which is $34,791.14.
34,000 what,
$34,791.14.
Okay.
Okay? Mr. Hippolito is at a pay group 10, which is $449.36. We're asking the court to allow us to bring that position at a starting pay at a pay group 17.8. And that amount is, you want the hourly rate, is that what I'm giving you? $19.88? What am I giving you? The annual?
The annual.
This is.
The annual, okay.
Yes.
The annual for that is $41,355.73. $19.88 is the hourly rate. And then if the court approves.
What was the hourly rate? I'm sorry. No.
$19.88.
Okay.
And then if the court would approve the 6 months in year raise.
Position, responsibility onto that position every year. And in the past 8 years since David's been in that position, emergency management's changed a lot. And so, like I said, I think that is probably something that we need to look at because we're going to ask that person to do a lot. We're going to ask them to probably do more than what David has been doing. And so I think we need to, I don't think that salary that she's bringing to us is out of line by any means.
We had discussed some things in the past about as far as maintenance issues. Will this person be required to see after more of the maintenance issues in their?
They're our contact point here for maintenance. So when something is wrong here, I approach that position and tell them what's wrong and ask them to find someone. And so that's who contacts Johnson Control or the plumbers, and then he meets them here. And David has told me in the last few weeks that we've been talking that I didn't realize how much he comes up here during the winter to check on our boiler, even on Saturdays and Sundays.
He does.
Because that boiler, like I say, that's something that I really think we need to, in budget time, maybe address and see if there's any way we can resolve that deal. Because he tells me now every time the power goes off, it blows a fuse when it comes back on to the boiler. And so then that you have to, and working on that boiler is not something that just you want to have, someone that doesn't know anything about them to do. And the problem is there's so many places don't use them anymore, it's hard to find somebody that's familiar with them. And so, like I said, that's a point of contact, you know, he does the ground, lots of the ground stuff, he does the flag, you know. He does lots of things that the rest of us take for granted, you know. I see the flags at half-staff and I wonder, you know, I never wonder, well, who put them there, who put the flags up, for that matter, you know. But he's the one that does that, and he buys the new flag. And like I said, there's lots of behind the scene, taking care of the elevator. Like I said, there's a large portion of that job that he does is just for that. But like I say, the biggest thing that he does with that are responsibilities for the management part of it.
It's called the license and registrations here.
Permit septic systems and
Yeah,
stuff like that.
well, and all that stuff. And I have talked to David and asked him to come up with a contract price that he would charge us to do septic systems until the new person could go to school and be certified to do that. He has agreed to do that, even after he leaves, if we need someone to do that, so. But we'll talk, or we'll look at that further on Monday, but.
The starting pay in that pay group is too low.
Okay.
So I'll be asking the court to approve that and maybe have a name for y'all on Monday.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Anything else?
That's it, Judge.
All right.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. All right. The next item on the agenda is my items. First quarter report on UMC, on the ambulance, EMS. It shows that they had a total of 14 responses, 11 inside the designated area and 3 outside. UMC responded 1 time to Health Center and 2 times to Petersburg. They're both outside the designated area. And so that is the report I received from Jeff at UMC. So we'll vote on that on Monday. The next item on my agenda is for us to consider joining NACO, which is the national version of TAC. Basically, they provide services for counties. They were instrumental in this Rescue America in getting those funds distributed directly to the counties and not through the states. And so, and I believe from their presentation and visiting with the lady there at our conference in Odessa, that they would also be able to provide us some resources and information about the Rescue America money that we're going to get. And so it's $795 for us to join for a year membership. And so I'm sorry, it's $725 for a year's membership. And so on Monday I'll present that, and if you're so inclined, then we can spend the $725 and join that association. I think we did belong to it at one time
We did
before.
when you first got into
I
office.
think we did.
And so, anyway, that's the items I have for today. And the next item we have is from Commissioner Precinct 3.
Yes, I'll be discussing one of our county roads that needs a lot of work, a lot of repair. It's County Road 245. This particular road is problematic because it's getting to the point it's just gonna take too much to put it back where it needs to be. And it's located on County Road 245 between County Road C, north and south, and County Road 8. The portion I'm gonna be asking to discontinue is about a half a mile from Lamb County, so it's very far over there. But just to give you an idea of what we're looking at, you might just take some of the scroll back to the left there, and you can see some of those pictures. They really don't do it justice, but it'll give you a pretty good idea of what it is. That Blackwater draw runs through